Guys, I'm excited to be here right now. I knew just 2019 felt different. And we came in this with a lot of momentum. And you didn't disappoint me from Thursday to here. You guys are ready. You're ready. But we got a couple things we got to take care of here. And then give you a couple little things. And then let's go change the world. And so this whole weekend, we've been giving you the plan. And this time, our time together right now, truly is where I get most excited. You know, you're about to walk. Now, let's get real. You're about to run. But each one of you are going to be faced with a decision when you leave here. And, you know, we've been talking about game changing. And so, you know, my question is, are you going to be ready to take game changing action? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Will this be the year? And I want to get real with you for a few minutes. And, you know, this is It Works today. Pretty impressive here in an arena, and you guys look great. Place is packed right now. Glad you fought a lot of stuff to get here. You had weather, maybe the babysitter, nanny didn't show up, a lot of stuff, but you're here now. And I'm proud of you. But I want to walk you through for a minute a little story. And because this is where I am now, but this is not where I started. And I want to talk about some game-changing moments. Game-changing moments. You know, when I was trying to think back, and I went all the way to 7th grade. You know, I had a big dream in 7th grade. I was going out for the basketball team. There was about 100 kids going out. 15 were going to make the team. I just knew at that age I was going to be in the NBA. I walked into tryouts that year. I was so excited. And I was ready. Guess what happened? I was cut. I got cut from the team. It crushed me. I didn't even want to tell you about it today. I'm still mad about it. The coach walks out. Here's 100 kids. Puts a list on the bulletin board. We all gather around to see if your name's on the list. Have you been there? Have you been there where you look to see if something you wanted so bad? You know, I walked into tryouts. I was so excited. I was ready to play basketball. And then, boom, it doesn't happen. Have you ever wanted something so bad? Who remembers laying in bed at night and you're praying, oh, God, please give me this. I won't ask for anything the rest of my life. I'll be good. I'll be good the rest of my life. You ever been in a situation like that? And then someone cuts you from the team and says you're not good enough. For me, that was basketball, and it was really tough at the time. So you know what I did? I tried out again next year. And next year. My senior year, I played on the team, and, you know, I didn't turn into Michael Jordan. I still beat John Alcala, but I never made it to the NBA. But the work ethic that I developed was game-changing. And it was something that I got to apply over and over and over again. And the power of that determination was instilled in me. I realized I was not stopping until I reached whatever that dream was I had. To this day, no matter what my name is on the list or not, it's not going to hold me back from accomplishing what I set out to do. That moment defined my life. Now, the next game-changing moment happened, I was in college. Turns out I wasn't going to play professional ball, so I decided I'd coach. And I was a freshman sitting in my first coaching class. Never forget this. The teacher happened to be the head basketball coach, and he had a game the night before. They had a 7-hour road trip on a bus If you've been a coach, you know you don't like road trips on a bus. And they lost. Tough game, overtime, his team lost. And he had just got back, he walks into the classroom. And he starts talking about the game. And he's kind of calm when he walked in, but he goes, referees were terrible. They're always terrible there. And he just kept going on and on. We missed some shots. We didn't execute like we were supposed to. And he's getting madder. And all of a sudden, he picked up a chair and he throws it across the room. This was before Bobby Knight. He was that mad. He stomped around. He threw chalk at a chalkboard. My millennials, you can Google that. We used to have chalk before a whiteboard. And man, we're just staring at the guy. We were frozen. We didn't know what to do. And all of a sudden, he sat down on a desk. And he says, my guys worked so hard. They had the best practice ever last week. And then to have the game taken from them because we missed a shot. The referee made a bad call. He goes, how do we go back and practice today? We got another game this week. I got to get them ready to play. He sat on that desk and tears started coming down. Then he looked up at us and he says, guys, that's what coaching's all about. If you want to be a coach, I'll see you at Thursday's class. And he walked out. We're all sitting there. We're like, wow. I mean, it was like I watched a full movie. It was like a roller coaster of emotions. Honestly, it was emotionally draining watching him. And I sat there and it hit me with the realization, this is a lot. This is what I'm choosing to do for the rest of my life. That's a lot to handle. It was so much more than X's and O's. Have any of you had those overwhelming moments? Maybe you didn't throw a chair across the room. Maybe you feel like right now you're on the roller coaster of life. And it just becomes a lot. You feel the weight of what you have to do and who you have to be on your shoulders. I realized there was going to be struggles ahead, but this was my passion. No matter how difficult, I was committed to helping change other lives. That moment defined my life. Now, fast forward a few years. I'm a math teacher. I'm a varsity coach, basketball. Cindy's at home with our 3 kids. You know, to be honest, we were barely making ends meet. I'd been teaching for 16 years, but I still couldn't afford to pay for some things that I wanted for the family. And then I got introduced to direct sales. And I was very skeptical. I know there's some sitting up there for the first time. You're a little skeptical. And I thought to myself, who are these people? Is it real? Why are they so happy? So I went to a conference just like this to check it out. I was sitting in the back. I watched this guy walk across the stage. I know you've watched a lot of people this weekend walk across that stage. But this happened, they said, this guy used to be a teacher and a coach. I perked right up. I'm like, hey, that's someone like me. I had my eyes on that guy the rest of the time. I watched how he walked, how he talked, what he did. He got a check that day for $12,000. Now, I was killing myself to bring home $4,000 a month teaching and coaching. I heard his story, and I'm thinking, what if that could be me? That was a divine moment for me. Who of you here this weekend heard a story and you thought, oh my gosh, that's me? Who did you see that you went, wow, they're a stay-at-home mom, they're a hairdresser, they're a teacher, they're a nurse, just like me? This weekend could be your defining moment. You see, watching that guy at my first conference didn't just inspire me. It changed me. I was running out of there committed to doing whatever it took to make it happen. Now, I'll tell you this, it didn't look like instant success. It looked like that work ethic that I had to apply as a 7th grader trying out for the basketball team. I was no longer that person that wanted to make just an extra $500 a month. I wanted freedom. I wanted to retire from teaching, and I was going to make it happen. And I realized something. I wanted more. That moment defined my life. Now, fast forward a little bit. We got it works going on. We're out there. A lot of us that first started right here. Pam and Luis is here. Cindy, myself, Steve. There's quite a few of us. And I got called into a meeting. I had a meeting. One of my best friends. At the time, he was our CFO. His name was Doug Nooney. Doug called me into the office, and he said, Mark, I want to talk to you right now with my friend hat on, not as your CFO. Now, rarely was Doug that serious with me, and I could tell something was really troubling him, and I said, all right, what? And he goes, I got to ask you, when are you going to stop putting your money in this? He said, we're drowning. I come to you every month for more money to make payrolls. We're working around the clock and barely making money. I'm worried that this is going to bury you. And I wasn't expecting that talk. It was right before Christmas. I thought he was going to ask me, like, what do you want for Christmas? You know, I just kind of struggled for words for a moment. I said, Doug, I feel like we're close. We got a plan in place. I feel like we have hope right now. And I realized I'd never thought of failure as an option. So fast forward a few years, we kept working. We had built It Works to $4 million a month. I thought we were hot stuff. We just moved the company to Florida. Bought a golf course. I convinced Cindy that we needed a golf course to entertain when you came here. Besides getting her to say yes, it was the greatest sales job in the world. Some of you here were at our first green carpets there. I was on top of the world. We went to our first DSN event. I had not been to one before. I literally was standing in the back of the room looking at all these companies. There's like 1,000 companies there. And I'm looking at them. And I saw to walk on that stage and be recognized, they recognized the top 100, and number 100 was at 100 million for the year. Now, I thought we were doing pretty good at 4 million, but 100 million for the year, you know, how many of you have a goal, but maybe you felt like it's near unattainable? It's just so big, it's hard to wrap your mind around it. I had entered that event thinking we're pretty hot stuff, but my name wasn't on the list again. We weren't on the radar. I sat in the back of the room. I do that sometimes. I was leaning against the room, had my arms folded, a foot up against the wall. I was disgusted. I don't like sitting in the back of the room. And this guy walked up. Now, if he's telling the story, he would say, this sharp-looking, smart, beautiful man. But I got the stage, so that was the day I met Mike Patello. And Mike, actually, he walked up and said, man, you're a good-looking guy. No, all right, he didn't say it. Mike walked up to me, and he said, you don't like being in the back room, do you? I said, nope, and I won't be next year. Well, we got together and met Tiff. That sold me on Mike and Tiff. And we decided to get together with all our team, and we set a goal that year. We said to get on the list of 100 million. So one team, one mission, let's do 100 million. Well, we didn't do it in a year. We did it in 7 months. And we hit over 200 million. So maybe you're sitting there. You just saw our top 150 yesterday. You saw the top 10. I'm wondering who's back there saying next year I won't be back here. Are you satisfied where you're at? VIP, you know, you're not defined by a number, but knowing that I was a rep in the field and I'm one of you, I was top 10 in the company, but I was 11 the year before. 11's the worst number in the world. I don't know who's 11 this year. I'm sorry about that, but 11, I was sitting there with my nose pressed against the window looking at the top 10. Cindy hated it. I actually got top 10 the next year. And I walked off the stage, this little old lady gave me a cue ball with a 9 on it, and she said, single digits are so much better. Cindy wanted to take that cue ball and throw it. So, but my question, all of you, are you satisfied where you're at? Where are you going to be sitting next year? I hope you're saying up here. I hope that you're like, I'm going to be on the floor as a VIP, and I'm going to walk across that stage. You know, I applaud every one of you that are here today. I know you've had game-changing moments just like I've had. And I'll tell you this, there's many yet ahead. Maybe some of you, you've been stuck at a rank. Maybe you're questioning, can I do this? You know, where are you right now? This was my dream. This was our team's dream. We've had many times of celebrations, the tough times, the good times. But it's a journey, and I can tell you this, for it works, it's far from over. These moments that I just shared with you define my life. They forever taught me that my past can't define my future. And it can be one full of failure or success. But my plan of action is what will define me. So I ask you, what can you accomplish in a year? As a matter of fact, what can you accomplish in these next couple of months? I want to know what moment is going to define your life. You know, I've used the word game changer all weekend. I put it on my shirts because I want you thinking about it. Game changer. I told you definition. A sudden action that's usually the result of a successful plan that changes the entire course of the game. A sudden action, the result of a successful plan. The successful plan is the foundation. It's the groundwork. Without the plan, you can't be a game changer. Like a house, you gotta have a foundation before you can have walls and a roof. And then it's gotta be a sudden action. Once you have that plan in place, requires sudden action. Joel, you called it massive action. I don't care if you do it sudden or massive, as long as you take action. We're faced with game-changing moments every day. The question is, will you take action? You know, you're like, what was that cha-ching thing? I know one of you asked that. I got a trigger I use. I'm going to give you my trigger. You need your own trigger, but you can use mine. My trigger is 2 claps. When you heard that, because 2 is 1, you always get knocked down. I wish I could tell you it'll be a straight path to the top, but it never is. You go up, you go down, you go up, you go down. I like to keep falling forward, trending forward. So 1 clap is when I get knocked down with something, I don't like it. Flight got canceled, the weather's too cold, something changed. I wanted to be there so bad, and then you get in a car and drive 14 hours to get here. and you're pregnant. I saw that story out there. That was bad for both people. The lady pregnant and the one driving. But 2 claps. Knock down, back up. It's always got to be 2. If it's one, you're not going to move forward. Do it with me. 2 claps. Knock down, back up. Knock down, back up. What does that mean? What does it mean to get knocked down? Maybe it means you had a goal for diamond before you came to conference. You didn't quite get it. Maybe you reached ambassador, but you lost your title. Now you're fighting back. Maybe the first 10 people you talked to, they said no. Maybe you signed 5 new team members and 3 won't call you back. But we know it's the 2 that we're going to focus on. Maybe it's that you have a goal for financial freedom, but you're not there yet. Those are ways that we get knocked down, but it's not over. We just get back up. When you hear 2 claps, I want you thinking game changer. That's a moment in time. If you've got hit hard, negativity, you got a brief moment to make a decision. You got to get back up. You guys have inspired me. I met someone this morning, not just her house burned down, her whole town burned down. And she's here. She had such a positive attitude. I'm going to write a country song about it at the end today. We're laughing now, but it wasn't funny, was it? I didn't know you were right there. That's awesome. I know all of us. I can't sing, so it's got to be one of those talking country songs. I know all of you face stuff. International team, you guys came from all over. I'm so proud that you saw the value to be here. And I tell you, yesterday, I'll tell you a secret, behind the scenes a little bit. We introduced the changes yesterday so that when we went on the boat, I'd have a chance to talk to you and explain it if you didn't understand it. And I tell you, that's the loudest it's ever been in here. I should have saved it for today. What do you think? All right, I'll be ready. So, I want you taking the challenge to be the game changer this year. I want you to be ready that if you get hit, you're going to get right back up. That you're ready. We're changing the game and it works. I hope you saw a weekend. We didn't wait. Opened 2 new countries Thursday. We're giving out new products Friday. We're giving you the tools. I thought the young lady did a great job with social influence. She loved you guys, man. She was back there going, this is a special group. I know. I said, I know. You know ahead of time when you had a team that can win the world championship. I got a team that can win the world championship. So, if you're ready into 2019, give me 2 claps. Now, we're getting close here. A couple things I want to clear the deck with. Let's talk about missed moments right in front of your face. Here and now. Anybody know someone that should be sitting in the seat next to you right now? Yeah. I mean, we all know someone that's afraid to do a Facebook Live. Some are too scared to pick up the phone, reach out to that prospect. Some people are afraid to ask their dad to introduce them, that they may talk too long. Or he may start flossing right on stage. Who do you know that's letting others' opinions hold them back? They could have been a game changer, but they let that hold them back. Now, here's the good news. We can learn from these missed opportunities. I want to talk for a second about permission. You know, when I come every year, I'm like, okay, I love my team. I know we're going to be ready. But what makes this the greatest year ever? What makes it what you take out of here isn't just an emotion right now, but stays with you. So I want to talk about the word permission. What I learned was sometimes you've got to give yourself permission to move on from stuff, from junk. And then I read this study that was amazing. It said sometimes the team needs the leader to give them permission for them to give themselves permission to move on. So here's what I want to do. I've given you today the green light. Now, I looked up the definition of green light. Green light definition: to give permission to move forward. Green light is to give permission to move forward. I'm giving you permission to give yourself permission to let go of any junk that's been holding you back. If it's a friend, if it's family, if it's something in your head, to move forward. So right now, I want you to turn to someone and say, green light, green light. You got permission to move forward. Green light. Green light. Now, listen to me now. You know I like to have fun and laugh, but my fun always has a purpose. I like to have fun with a purpose. So right now, you got to take this serious. Some of you need to give yourself permission to be you. Don't try to be someone else, be you. If Jade Hooper was here right now, I'd point at her and say, Jade is her. She broke the cookie cutter there to be her. And that works for her. Number 3, look at that. You've got to have permission, give yourself permission to let go. Don't talk about something 3 years ago. Don't worry about who left your team. Don't worry at the dinner table. You got one relative that says, oh, you're all that. Why are you trying to always get ahead? Hey, here's what I want for you. I've been asking in a lot of the private meetings. I love this. So many of you have now become making the most money than anyone in your family tree. I know a lot of if you're making the most money in your family tree, raise your hand. I love that. I love that. Think about that. You're planting a flag that you can change your whole legacy. I'll tell you a secret. Cammie, Kinsey, and Kyler didn't raise their hand. I'm making it tough on them. But at least they got a goal out there. So let go. And give yourself permission to change. Maybe what worked 4 years ago isn't working today. We were the crazy rap company. Today, we're just crazy. Give yourself permission to change, to reinvent yourself, to grow as a leader. Man, I tell you, I'm so proud of so many in our leadership group. I watch what they're filling their heads with, what they're reading, the leadership they're showing. A few years ago, I sat down with a few of our leaders, and I said, I'm worried. We're getting so big. Used to be Pam and I were out there everywhere. Mike come in, Cammie come in, but we still can't get out. I'm praying for great leadership. I need people that show the It Works culture and who we are. And you know they took it serious, and I appreciate that so much. So give yourself permission to grow. And then permission to do things the world says isn't normal. Pay off your credit cards. How about that? Student loans, mortgages. I love paying off mom and dad's credit card. It's hard. Mom buys shoes all the time. And how about this? What if you're giving back to your community like no one else? Yeah. When you're making more than you ever thought possible, And I know you guys, our team's kept a good heart. I heard a lot of words this weekend. They go, man, your team, man, high energy, passion, they're humble. And some of these local businesses already called and said, your team's awesome. They had some big deal here just a few weeks ago, and they said no one tipped. They said, your guys are generous, they're tipping, they're givers, they're positive. Nice job. Now, here's something else. I want you to give you permission to go forward. But some of us, you know, we had accomplishments. We've won the trophies. It might be business, it might be sports. Some of you, even in this industry. I loved the stories and stuff I was hearing up there. And I love a lot of our new people coming to here and joining and saying, let's make this bigger than ever. And you know what I heard we have to do sometimes? And leaders, I'm challenging us. Sometimes we got to take those trophies and all the awards, put them in a box. Put them in a box. Why? Because I want you to make room for the new ones this year. I want you ready. Congratulations to the new Millionaires Club. That less than 1% in the United States has ever made $1 million. You guys are pretty special. Congratulations to that. But here's my challenge. Don't rest on that. This year, 2019, is a game changer. My challenge to you is just in your mind say, I'm going to act like I'm at zero and I'm going to re-earn it. I'm going to make $1 million next year. I'm going to do it for the next 5 years. How many times can you re-earn getting back in the Millionaires Club? I want you to challenge yourselves to be a game changer this year and do it again and again and again. You know, some of you, this wasn't the career you went to college for. You got to give your permission to build a legacy here. Maybe you went for something else, but it's this that fulfills you and it's taking you to another level. Maybe your enroller didn't even come to conference with you and they lost their vision, but that's okay. Give yourself permission to have your own vision. Together, we're setting aside the naysayers, negativity. I'd rather look back and say, man, I took a great bunch of people. Not only did we try, but we did it. Wouldn't you rather say that than what if? I should have stayed in that. Say this with me. I'm giving myself permission to be a game changer. One more time. I'm giving myself permission to be a game changer. All right, go back to that definition. We've given you a great plan for this weekend. We didn't hold back. This is the most products we've ever brought out at one time. Social, branding, teaching moments. We held nothing back. We made it a global comp plan so you can take this to a whole nother level. So my question is, are you ready for a sudden action that will change the entire course of the game? We've heard business announcements, product announcements. You've learned about new tools, how to build your business on social. We've removed the roadblocks from your path. We've removed all the barriers. No more excuses. You should know exactly what steps you got to take when you leave here today. I'm telling you, I'm standing here next year and I'll say 2019 wore me out. I left it all. On the floor. I didn't talk about balance. There's no such thing as a balance. You go through one season, another season. No. We removed the roadblocks, the barriers. 2019 will be a game changer. But it's up to you. Are you going to take sudden action? All right. I've been waiting all week to get to this. I I say game changer. You give me 2 claps. Game changer. Because that's the way the year is going to be. You're going to get knocked down, you're going to get up. Game changer. Game changer. 2019 can be your year.